Hello everyone, welcome to another video. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 4 common mistakes that students usually make when they write research abstracts. So you may be writing your abstracts for your research article or for thesis or dissertation or also for your conference presentations. It is an important part of your research paper because sometimes when the other readers when they go through the research abstract, they want to get the gist of your research work based on that abstract. So if they find that abstract to be meaningful, useful, then they will go through the overall research article to know more about your work. So I also follow this technique whenever I have to go through the research paper. First, I go through the abstract and see if the research article may have the information that I need or not. So the first common mistake students usually make while writing an abstract is having too much background information. So for an example, here is a background information for one of the abstracts that I was working on. And as you can see that, this background is too long and it has like a lot of information. We can see even for the first line itself, like the gastrointestinal tract harbors a diverse and complex ecosystem of microorganisms collectively referred to as gut microbiota, which engage in blah blah blah. So the sentence is too long, it has like too much information. So the shortened version of this background is this one, where I directly introduce what bile acids are and what we have reported before and what is not known, what we are trying to find, and what we hypothesized for this study. So this kind of succinct and clear background information is needed. So we can say that this we can exclude for the background information because it is also making it too complex. So having too much background or introduction section in your abstract, it hurts your abstract rather than help it, because by the time people go through your background or introduction section and come to methods or result, they might already be lost in that background information. So it should be very short and succinct, to the point, and you have to simply explain why you are focusing on that particular work, what is the knowledge gap, and what you're trying to fill in with your work. And simply divide your abstract into like 4 equal parts. Sometimes it's not possible to have equal sentences for all the sections, but you can have like maybe 1/4 of your section for the background, maybe another 1/4 for the methods, then results, and then your overall conclusion. So that way, if you have a balanced sections, then it will be easy to follow your abstract, and also it will contain all the important information in order to get the overall gist of your research work. So another mistake that students usually make is using too complex words or using too many jargons, so that the sentences become very unclear and difficult to follow. So you don't want people to get confused when they are reading through your abstract. You don't want to bug them with technical, like too many technical terms, and using long sentences instead of short ones, so that you just have to facilitate the overall understanding of the reader. Next, suppose for the method section here, in this particular method here, I have just mentioned that a loss of function rodent model, but I have not indicated what loss of function, and I just mentioned about multiomics, phenotypic pipeline, appropriate study duration, not clear like for how long the study was performed, and adequate sample sizes, not clear how many sample size was present. And the extended version of this method section, which is clear to understand and not as vague as this method section here, where I have discussed about how these particular rats were generated, how the blood pressure was measured, for how long, how many animals were used. So here the method section is clear, and it has given all the information that the reader might need to interpret the findings of the result of this study. So this method, it's too unclear and it's vague. From one sentence to another, just try to have a link between that so that people are able to get what you are trying to say in the consecutive sentences. So the another mistake students usually make when they are writing an abstract is not having any numbers or magnitude or direction of your result. Result is the important part of your abstract because it will summarize what you have observed or what you observed through your experiments. So if you do not include numbers or the magnitude of change or the direction, like where it is heading, then people will question, like, why should I care about this work then? In this particular result, as we can see here, that it just simply talks about showing a difference of 5 unit. It has like a p-value, but not known how much was the difference. Also, it talks about select bacterial taxa, means it has not included any information on what bacteria. It says some differences, not sure, the magnitude of the difference, and a certain secondary bile acid, not sure which particular bile acid, and also possible relationship between several of these variables through the directionality and magnitude. But these parameters are not clear in this result section. So the extended version can be something like, you mention about how much was the blood pressure, then you can give the p-value, then you can simply say like this was significantly reduced, not only like some differences, but it was significantly reduced or increased. You can mention that. And also here are the examples of particular bacteria that was present, not just some bacterial taxa. We have given the names of those bacteria, and we have included like secondary bile acid glycodeoxycholic acid here, means not only certain secondary bile acid, but the name of the bile acid is included, and also significant reduction, like the directionality is also mentioned. And it has like a clear I think going through this result, people will have a clear understanding of what parameters were checked and what were the results of those variables that were checked. So this is a no. The fourth mistake that students usually make when they are writing an abstract is not giving clear takeaway message from your research work. Because most important question from your work is, why should I care? As I mentioned in the result section also, people will question, why should I care about this work? And that conclusion statements, it's very important, because it will not only summarize the overall idea of your work, that why you did that work, what was important, and why people should care, but it will also help to make your work insightful, to make your work significant. And in the conclusion, this conclusion here, it doesn't give the clear takeaway message. It simply says that these findings suggest that receptor in question may play some role, and more studies are needed to understand these complex interactions and human disease. So it just simply mentions about that it's too vague. But the clear conclusion could be something like, the novelty of this work, like this is the first loss of function study, and it promoted the abundance of antimicrobial secondary bile acid, it remodeled the gut microbiota, lowered blood pressure. And what does that imply? It says that this demonstrate that targeting the gut liver axis via TGR5 could be a novel therapeutic strategy. So it also gives a reason of why people should care about this particular study, because this study was more for hypertension rather than the human disease as a whole. So the conclusion should be very to the point and succinct, and it should give all the necessary information that is needed for people to find the importance of this study here. So this conclusion, it's too vague, it's not it doesn't give that much information. But this conclusion down here, it's preferred, and it will give you the overall significance of your work. Your research article might be excellent, but if your abstract itself is very weak, if it is not conveying the important information, then there is very high chance that people skip reading your work. So these are the 4 common mistakes I talked about today, when people are writing the abstracts. So next time when you write your abstracts for any conferences, or you can even follow the same format for your research article, I hope you will try to avoid these 4 common mistakes that I discussed in this video today. And with that, I would like to end this video. So I will see you again in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.